It's great to have you here at Cultiva Vienna, Mr. Carus, the managing director of the European Industrial Hemp Association. So what are the current fields of engagement of your association? What are the battlefronts for the producers of industrial hemp right now?
Yeah, we have on the one hand side very positive things. So the cultivation area is meanwhile 30,000 hectares in Europe. It was a few years ago only 8,000, so this is a very big step forward. We have meanwhile in almost all member states in the European Union hemp cultivation. Hemp fibers are well established in the market in insulation, in automotive applications. That's other new applications, and also in lightweight paper applications. The seeds, the hemp seeds, very healthy, very nice omega-3 spectrum, fatty acid spectrum, are very well placed on the market. Meanwhile, also in mass markets. So even German discounters now have hemp products in their shops. That's fantastic. The only thing was not working so well is the regulation on THC and CBD. On the one hand, small shares of THC in the hemp food products. We're waiting for European regulation. We have so far only a German regulation that is used in many different member states, but it's very strict and it was done many years before. So meanwhile we have more information and could make less strict regulations. This is a battlefield, of course, especially for hemp protein powder and shelled hemp seeds. The problem is, the discussion is, what is a ready-to-eat product, what is intermediate? There's a lot of confusion on the market, so this is a lot to do. Another point is CBD. Here on the fair you see many shops selling CBD. CBD is very good to relax and for cures. It's good for many different diseases, but also as food supplement for creams. So a very interesting product. And the problem here is it's not psychoactive, so that is also not a problem. But the problem is that the pharmaceutical industry discovered these new very nice molecules. And the question is now, who making the profit? And the pharmaceutical companies, of course, want this only sold in pharmaceutical shops with prescription. And most of the companies here offering things in small doses, which are more or less like valerian, so they could also be sold in a normal shop. But this is now a very serious fight. Who gets a profit from CBD?
Is it a bit David against Goliath, or are you getting back up?
Yeah, the fight is just starting, so it's too early to say what is possible. Hemp is also always a political issue. So if we can also get green parties activated, and we can get a lot of signatures on our position paper we will publish next week, so you can make a very different power compared to other crops with hemp. So the forces are now organizing themselves, but who will be stronger, I don't know. What we are proposing is, if you use CBD in a high concentration, it should be a pharmaceutical shop only with prescription, that's fine. But if you lose this in low concentration, in healthy food products, for example, that should be allowed. So we want to make this regulation due to the concentration of the CBD. And this is often done with other materials, also with valerian. Valerian in very high doses you have to go in a pharmaceutical shop, but in low doses you can buy it in the supermarket. And I think CBD should be next to valerian in the shops. And so we have very good scientific-based arguments. And I'm a scientist, and I think normally after a few years or decades the truth will win, but I don't know how fast. And you see with other pharmaceuticals, for example, that there are often the first 5 years restricted to pharmaceutical shops and prescription, and then the people see they are very mild, they have no side effects. Then later on they're going on the free normal supermarket. And this can also happen here, that we have a certain period where it's restricted and then it will be open again, or we can be quicker with that. The fight just started next week.
Okay. And what about CBD? Is there a fear in the sector of making the legislative framework more difficult?
That's a big danger. I think most of the small and medium-sized companies now producing CBD and selling it, like here on the fair, then it could happen that they have no business anymore in a very few months. That could happen. It seems so that in UK they have forbidden this free market for CBD in end of August, and in Germany 1st of October, so 2 weeks ago. So it's very new, everything. But they have a big fear that they cannot sell the product anymore in the near future. That is a big problem. And it would, of course, not fair, because all the pioneers making the market could have big troubles. But the pharmaceutical industry, some of the companies also made a great job in the pharmaceutical industry. They spent 100 million and more to develop the medicine. And now, of course, they're saying we spent so much money. Now it cannot be right that some other company is just selling it on the street. I understand both, but I think we should find a fair compromise depending on the concentration.
So what would that be?
I think it makes no sense to go into detailed number here, but we have defined different ranges. I think more than 200 milligram a day should be pharmaceutical. Then we have a range for food supplements. Then we have a range for products, just food products. So we have defined 3 ranges for regulation, and this proposal will go to the world next week, and then we will fight for it. And we are backed up with a lot of pharmaceutical scientists. So we have a lot of good arguments, but pharmaceutical industries have better connections to the health ministries. So we will see. I have never fought a fight in the pharmaceutical sector before, so I don't know what will happen. But again, hemp is also always a political thing, and if we can activate, we have today, I think, 10,000 of patients profiting from CBD. And if all these patients and their doctors and the society will be active here and show we want to have another regulation for CBD, that's also could be very strong, depending on how much support we get. If our position paper will have 100 signatures, it will do nothing. If it has 10,000, they cannot oversee it. They have to work with us. So this is depending on the support of the hemp sector in the next months.
And what about THC on the medical side? Is this also on your agenda?
THC don't need so much support. If you have not legislation like in some US countries like Colorado, then of course THC is a medicine, has to be regulated, is only sold in pharmaceutical shops and need a prescription, that's fine. And this is running well. And we have some member states now where also the insurance companies taking the cost of the THC. So these are good developments, and so in THC it's running well. There is no special fight with THC at the moment.
Cool. And recently in your lecture you advised the public on a campaign searching for signatures in order to stop a rather dangerous legislative change. So can you give a shout out to our viewers to sign the petition too?
Yeah, it would be very nice if you support this fight for CBD, that people have benefit from CBD, patients have easy access to CBD. And the position paper will be published on our webpage, www.IHA, European Industrial Hemp Association.org. And there you can find it next week and you can read it and sign it. That would be great help for us in the political fight.